right? You know, another thing that happens is before you go to a meeting, you got to know who you're meeting. You got to know who they are. This is a true story. 4 weeks ago, I had a meeting with the Jim Henson Company. When you hear Jim Henson Company, what are you thinking about? What pops in your head?
Kermit. Muppets.
Kermit, Muppets, right? How old is their audience? 5, right? So I go in there and I sell her really hard for like 45 minutes. I'm talking about all the Disney movies I've done and the short films. I'm a father. I got to get the father thing out there. I know kids. Who knows kids better than I got 3 of them. I go through all this stuff for 45 minutes. You know what she says to me at the end? Our target audience is 18 years old, violence and sex.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? This is what she said to me. True story. She's like, we're looking for teen and older, you know, slasher stuff. They're doing like dark stuff, like much darker than the Dark Crystal. And I'm like,
Jim Henson feature.
Yeah, and my manager, who usually preps me for these meetings, I called him after. I'm like, I went in there with Kermit in the head, you know. So that didn't work so well. Although she liked my enthusiasm, okay, for the way I pitched, but I didn't know who it was. You have to know who they are and what they're looking for. You got to have that answer before you go into the room, so you don't do what I did 4 weeks ago. Another very important thing is this. People are not going to remember anything you say. They're going to remember how they felt when you spoke to them. It's the emotions that people remember. They're not going to remember what you said. They're going to remember how you said it and how you made them feel. You're sitting down with someone, you got to get to know them. You got to make them feel good about themselves. Try giving them a compliment and be sincere. Find something good about them. And say, wow, I like this, I like that. And you don't know anything good about them to compliment? Get to know them. Ask them questions. People love to talk about themselves. That's how it is, right? So you get to know them and you give them a compliment. And you're going to leave and they're going to be like, I don't know what it is, but man, I feel good about myself. You stroke their ego. They love it. 93%, I found this stat today, of communication is based not on what we say, but how we say it. When we're communicating, body language, crossed arms, the pose, the tone. I can tell you I was in a meeting with someone at Disney, very high up. The guy would come in, a room this big, and he would put his big boots right up on the table, cross his legs and cross his arms. You think anyone was really inspired by this guy? Absolutely not. When you're in a meeting with someone, you cannot sit back. You gotta sit forward. You're hungry, you're enthusiastic, you're energized. You gotta think that way. I'm selling the fact that I'm gonna do my work. I'm not lazy. I'm not relaxing, right? I'm going to work hard for this person. That's really important. You also have to differentiate yourself from the competition. You have to know everything that's out there. You got to know everybody out there that's doing what you're doing. The last thing you ever want to happen is for you to be in a business and you're selling something about nutrition, right? And someone that you're selling says, oh yeah, but what about this thing? And you go, oh, I don't know about that. Wait, isn't that your business? You got to know everything that's out there in your business. You think Steve Jobs doesn't know what Samsung was doing or Microsoft was doing? Because what we want to do is stand on the shoulders of everyone else. We want to know who the best voiceover artists are. We want to know who the best agencies are, the best trainers. Who are they and what edge do they have? How am I going to get it? Every single one of us wants the same thing. We want to be great in our professions. There's no reason we can't do it. We have to find out everyone who is more successful than us and set a goal. What do they have? How am I going to learn what they do? And how am I going to be better than them? Got to find out what they're doing. Every single person you talk to who has money to spend on your product is concerned about one thing, their own job. It's survival of the fittest, especially in this economy. They just want to know, like, is this person going to make me money? Is this person going to help me? That's all they care about. And you have to sell them on that. How is you telling this person to buy your product or invest in you not going to be a terrible risk? How is it a sure thing? I love how Shai gave up and gave a specific example of one of his clients, Joseph too. You told about your aunt. You know, that's like, wow, that's something, that's good, because I'll project myself right onto his aunt. I'll be like, you know what, that's me. I could do that. I'm going to project myself onto that character, and I think that Joseph can help me. It's very manipulative, and I love it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's storytelling. It's all storytelling, right? You know, my wife and I in the Upper West Side, we would see a lot of these singles dating all the time. At Estehana, there's a place in the Upper West Side. Remember that place? And we would be there, and I'd watch these singles dating each other and talking, and they didn't know what to say to each other. This guy was sitting there with a Coke going like this, and she'd have the Diet Coke. And they just, I'm like, you're really not that thirsty. You're just hiding behind that glass. And literally, every time he would put the cup down, wait a second, he'd pick it up again. Like, that's what they were doing. And you listen to them talking. This is an important point. And here's what they'd be saying. Where are you from? New York. What do you do for a living? Blah, 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 right? This is the point. If you're in a meeting with someone, and you're selling something, and every single thing they know about you after that meeting, they could have read on your LinkedIn page, your Facebook page, you have failed. Is that all you did was come there to just tell them facts about you? When you're in a meeting with someone face to face, we have to be thinking one thing. What can I show them about me that it is impossible for them to ever learn by reading an autobiography about me? You could read 500 pages about my life, but in 1 minute, I'm going to tell you something that there's no way you ever could have read in there. It's like Good Will Hunting. Matt Damon's sitting on the bench, and Robin Williams says to him, you know what? You think you know about chocolate? You think you know about art just because you've read about it? You think you know about love because you read a poem? Unless you've experienced it, you don't know anything. So when we pitch someone, what are we going to sell them about ourselves that they can't possibly read? You know, I'll give you a good example. This is a true story, 3 weeks left, and that woman I told you about. And it's a meet and greet, even though I knew her 15 years ago and I've talked to her. My manager's like, you gotta go do a meet and greet with this woman. I'm like, I know her. I keep in touch with her. I go in there, we're talking, she's in a new company. Directors, I'm like, good. I said, so do you have kids? She starts talking about her kids. I have 3 kids now. We talk 3/4 of the meeting about parenting. I'm giving her advice on kids at night and sleep schedules, and she's giving me advice, and we just connected about parenting, had the best. I literally forgot about the business. It was all about parenting. That's what it was about. And we laughed, and we had the greatest time in the world. When I left that meeting, I actually brought some of these follow-up emails. This is the email that I wrote her after that meeting, okay? It was so great seeing you again. I truly enjoyed reconnecting with you and sharing our love of parenting. So fun. It certainly sounds like you're building something very exciting. See what I did right there? It certainly sounds like you are building something very exciting. She's only been working for this company 4 weeks. She hasn't built anything. But I just made her feel good about herself. She's going to be like, oh yeah, you know what? I am building something. Because you know what? Everybody wants to build something. She's not there just because she wants other people to tell her what to do. She wants to build something. So subconsciously, she's like, I'm feeling good about myself right now. It certainly sounds like you're building something very exciting there. I am attaching my pitches for 2 of my movies that I was telling her about. Would love to hear any ideas you have on them. Now, do I want to hear ideas that she has on my movies? No. But you know what I want her to know? This guy, me, is the most collaborative person she's ever going to work with, period. And you know what? That empowers her. I just told her she's building something, and I just told her that she has the ability to give her thoughts on movies that I've been writing. That's empowering her. I'm making her feel better about herself with every single word. Watch this. And here is a link. I sent her a link to some of my stuff, and here's a link for 2 shorts that I did. I said I have a trunk full of ideas and products I'm developing. Would love to come back and pitch you more at your convenience. Talk soon, Saul. I don't know about you, but I go through, should it be a smiley face? Should it be an exclamation point? Is it a wink? It's a whole thing, right? If it's a smiley face, if you have to know them a couple times, then you give the smiley face. But anyway, this is her response. This is what she says. You too, dear, what a delight. Ah. Exclamation point. Watch this. Thank you for sharing projects of all kinds with me. I would love to find one or more on which to work together. You see, she didn't say I want to find a project that's going to help me here. She wants to work together. Because yeah, there's a service I'm offering her. I'm selling her a movie. But you know what? You want to have a good time when you go to work every day. You got to like the person. They got to be fun. You got to be able to talk to them. It's got to be easy. No one wants to work with a headache person, right? We had a good schmooze. We might as well have been in a coffee shop talking, even though we were in her office. We might as well have been on vacation, sitting there having a conversation, like a nice, warm conversation. Watch this. She says, as far as pitches go, I'd like to get through the next couple of weeks of school, wrap-ups with my girls, then schedule some time. She's telling me about her daughters. You think she would ever do that with anyone else? No, we talked about kids. She's letting her guard down. That's what she wants. She says, in a real conference room, you and whomever you deem appropriate, come pitch me. In the meantime, I'll review your materials and website. Thank you for giving my day a glorious beginning. Wow. How about that one? And you know what? A lot of you are thinking, how am I on time? You okay?
You're 18 minutes.